Hi, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining my masterclass. I'm Heather Monoc. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Right Hand Senior Care. And today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of overcoming the fear of starting a home care business. I know firsthand that fear can be a huge hurdle, and especially when you're just beginning. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey. For those of you who might not know me, my name is Heather Monoc, and I started Right Hand Senior Care in 2016 in Covington, Louisiana. And just to be upfront, when I started, I had zero experience in running a home care business, and in fact, I had zero experience in running any kind of business or managing people, for that matter. So the first few years, they were a significant challenge for me. And you can imagine, I was a busy mom. I had a small child. I had two more in middle school. I was still completing a master's degree. And on top of that, we had just moved into a new house and it needed a lot of work. So you're probably wondering, why on earth would you start a home care business in the middle of all that chaos? And the answer is really quite simple, and that's because I believed it was the right time. So I had this burning desire to do something meaningful with my life and to give back and to make a difference. And I really felt that the market was just waiting for me. And there were people who needed my help, and I was determined to provide that help. So, despite all the chaos in my life, I made the decision to start Right Hand Senior Care, and um, knew it wouldn't be easy. But I was really driven by that sense of purpose and that belief that I can make a positive difference. So fast forward 8 years later, Right Hand is still running, and it's not just running, but running successfully. And I actually, believe it or not, don't even live in Louisiana anymore. I relocated to Massachusetts. And what's even more incredible is I've been running the business remotely for over 4 years now, successfully. So a lot of people are like, how do you do that? How did you manage it? Well, that's a great topic for another day, of the back office system that I use and that I built and that I would love to share with you. But for now, I want to just assure you that it can be done. And you can get to the point where you're running your home care business remotely. And it's not only possible, but it can be really done as big a way as you desire it to be. And I'm not sharing this to brag about anything, but just so that you could understand and it can instill confidence in each one of you that if I did it, you can do it too. And overcoming that fear is really the first step. And on this journey, it can lead to very remarkable places. And whether you dream of having a small local business or one that spans multiple states, the possibilities are huge. So we can explore today. We're going to explore the strategies and the insights, and just keep in mind that the journey just begins really when you start your business. So it's going to evolve, it's going to grow, and it becomes what you make of it. So let's dive into the specifics, and I'll share more about my experiences and the lessons I've learned all along the way. So thank you so much again for joining. Let's continue with the masterclass on overcoming the fear of starting a home care business. So let's begin by exploring the common fears that hold aspiring entrepreneurs back. And there's really 5 common fears that I want to go over today. And the first is the fear of financial instability. So most of you here, you surely have jobs that you rely on for stable income. And so, giving that up and starting a business, it's a very valid concern. But with careful planning and a very realistic approach, you can absolutely navigate this. So the first step is you really want to start immersing yourself in the financial landscape of the home care industry. You want to research the startup cost, the operational expenses, and potential revenue streams. a really good resource for this is the Home Care Pulse. They put out a benchmark report every year, and I'll drop that in the comments section after. Great resource, great read if you're wanting to get into the home care industry. The second step to alleviate the fear of financial instability is creating a very detailed business plan. And that business plan, it's going to go over your budget, outline all the projected income streams that you could have having a home care business, and also including contingency plans for any unexpected challenges, because it's always going to happen, right? And you want to be prepared for it. So in this situation, a lot of research, planning, that's going to be your best friends. And it's going to provide you with a very clear roadmap for financial stability. And you don't want to do it all alone. There's resources out there. You can get guidance from financial experts or mentors who really understand all the nuances of the home care industry. And those insights can be invaluable. So let's talk about how to fund a home care business. Don't let those financial concerns just paralyze you if you don't think that you can afford to start. Explore various funding options. There's loans, there's grants. You could explore having partnerships, bringing on a partner, and building that solid financial foundation. It's not only going to alleviate the fear of instability, but it also positions your business for very sustainable growth. And financial stability, it is achievable with the right strategy and the right mindset. So a good resource for creating that business plan and getting more information on loans and types of funding is the SBA. So I'll drop that down, sba.gov. They have centers all over the US that can help you. You can sit down with someone and they'll help you craft that business plan and talk to you about different funding options. And it's all free. Another fear that I want to discuss, that is the number 2 fear, is you may be feeling there are so many home care businesses in my area. It is completely saturated. There's like one on every corner. I don't know. And maybe that's true, but it's completely normal to worry if you're coming into a market that has a lot of competition. But I want to shift your perspective for a minute. Instead of viewing market saturation as an obstacle, see it as an opportunity for innovation and for differentiation. So, the first step in overcoming the fear of market saturation is conducting a very thorough market analysis. And that's when you want to identify the gaps that, your market may have, any unmet needs or underserved demographics within your target area. And this research, it's going to uncover opportunities for you and opportunities to specialize or create unique services that really sets your business apart. The next piece of this is building relationships in your area, in your community. Very strong connections with local communities and healthcare professionals and future potential clients can be established by starting to build a brand presence for yourself within your area. And personal relationships, that's a very powerful tool in what may appear to be an already saturated market. And think about what kind of innovation out there and what kind of technology can you bring to the table that can enhance the quality and the efficiency of the services that you're providing that really make your business stand out in a crowded space. So think about how you can leverage technology and provide some kind of unique and exceptional home care experience that no one else is doing. So just remember, there's always room for fresh ideas and presenting a unique value proposition in a very growing industry. So even if your market seems saturated, don't let that discourage you. This brings me to the third fear, which is the fear of direct competition. Competition is completely natural, and competitors is a sign of a healthy market. So you may be thinking, but my competitors, they're more established than me. It's going to be really hard to compete head to head for business. It's totally natural to feel a little bit uneasy about competing, but today I want you to see your competitors. They're not obstacles, but they're contributors of a very thriving industry. So the first step in overcoming the fear of competition is really understanding the competition. And that involves conducting a very comprehensive analysis of your competitors and identifying as much as you can their strengths and their weaknesses. And this kind of knowledge is really going to serve valuable to you. It's going to be a valuable asset in shaping the strategy you have for building a successful business. Okay, so let's talk about as well differentiation. So differentiation, instead of fearing the competition, look at it as an opportunity to distinguish your business. So you can highlight your unique services that you offer. Emphasize your level of personalized care, or as we discussed earlier, what kind of technologies and innovations can you bring to set yourself apart from other competitors in your market? But I feel like the very strongest differentiator is actually you. It is your own brand identity. And that's really key in letting your values shine through to foster those genuine connections within the community. And remember, people usually choose services that they know and that they trust. And building a strong personal brand, it's a very powerful differentiator. And I'm not talking about, the brand of your business. If you want to be part of a much bigger brand, I'm talking about your personal brand as the business owner. And it's a personal brand that, makes the connection between you and your, future clients and your community, and represents a sense of reliability and compassion. And it really humanizes the business, allowing your clients to associate a face and a personality with the care that they're receiving. And it only not only builds trust, but it also sets the business apart in a competitive market by communicating those values and that dedication and those unique qualities that you, the business owner, bring to the table, which makes them more relatable, makes your business more relatable, more approachable. So, just to recap, like competition, it's not a threat. It is a sign of healthy demand in the market. It's totally normal. And so just get ready for it. It's really not as bad as you think. Um, so the fourth fear, and this was one that I had to really overcome, was my lack of experience and my fear of my lack of experience. So, it's a very valid worry. And I want to share that, how this challenge, it can be very transformative, and it can become a platform for your own personal growth and resilience, and the acquisition of very new valuable skills. So rather than letting a lack of experience hinder your progress, you just think of it like a blank canvas. So you're ready, the market is ready for your unique perspective and your unique ideas. And, whatever industry you might be coming from, your journey into the home care industry, it's an opportunity to bring something new and fresh and innovative to the table. So, to overcome that fear of an experience, I mean, there's really no shortcut. You've got to invest time in learning. You've got to do continuous learning. So there's tons of online courses, about business leadership. There's specific workshops, there's networking events, there's home care conferences, there's home care specific training that can really deepen your understanding of, the home care landscape. And just remember that knowledge is a very powerful tool in business success, but it's also going to give you, confidence. So when you're looking at knowledge, you're doing your research, you consider those strategic partnerships. Consider having a mentor, somebody who's done it before, that can collaborate with you, and having a group of seasoned professionals that are giving you information, or hire someone with experience. You can always just find somebody that knows what they're doing, that can fill the gaps and the pieces that you're really not sure about. And then, seek expert guidance. That's critical, that you're not just trying to wing it. And this type of, collaborative approach, It's a strength. It's not a weakness. It's a strength because you're going in knowing that you want to learn, that you need to learn, instead of someone who says, "Oh, I got this, I already know everything." And their view is very limited. So remember that, the path to success usually involves no experience. It involves trying something new, something you've never done before. And that passion and commitment to providing quality care, that can be your driving force. And a lot of entrepreneurs, including myself, had no experience in the business and that they were going into, yet they succeeded. So you can too. So don't let a lack of experience discourage you. Um, okay, and the fifth fear that I want to discuss, and probably the hardest to overcome, is the actual fear of failure. Many aspiring entrepreneurs grapple with the fear of failure when starting a home care business, but I really want to shift our perspective and say, failure, it's not a roadblock. Failure is a stepping stone. It's a natural thing that's going to happen, and so it's part of the path to success. And the first step in overcoming the fear of failure, it's having that mindset shift where you're saying, I understand that failure is a natural part of entrepreneurship. I understand I'm going to have days where I fail at what I'm trying to do. But instead of fearing it, you embrace each failure as it's an opportunity of growth and an opportunity to learn. And there's a quote that I really like, and I say it all the time, probably a few times a week, especially to my children. It is, luck favors the prepared. So, always be ready for that opportunity and be prepared. Okay. Develop a comprehensive business plan, as I discussed earlier, that outlines very realistic goals, very realistic expectations. And, I always try to use the times two rule. And that means that however long I think it's going to take me, or however much money I think it's going to cost me, just multiply it times two. I know that sounds really pessimistic, but it's just typically happens that way. Things always take more time and they take more money than we originally had hoped that they would. But, you have to consider all those potential challenges and create that contingency plan and that plan B, of what could happen, what if. And that level of preparation, it's not only going to provide a very solid foundation for you, but it's going to, help reduce the fear that's associated with the unknown. And don't forget, you're not alone. You're not alone in the journey. Build that support system around you, whether it's mentors or people in the industry, or just finding a network of fellow entrepreneurs that you can share experiences and insights. That can be incredibly empowering. So remember that, each setback, it's an opportunity for growth, and, break down those goals into manageable steps and celebrate those small victories, and really adapt your strategies based on those lessons you've learned from, those little failures. So we talked about the five key fears, the five fears that most entrepreneurs typically experience. So what I want to shift gears now is talk about the psychology of fear and how it impacts us both physically and emotionally, because it's important to kind of understand fear itself. And I'm not a psychologist. I've never studied psychology, but I've dealt with fear, and I've had to learn techniques. I've been taught techniques over the years in overcoming it. So, understanding how fear affects us as human beings and how to manage that impact is really the first step in trying to just separate fear from what we call just, healthy fear from unhealthy fear, basically. So the first thing to note is, real fear, it triggers a very primal instinct in us, as humans, either that fight or that flight response. And it involves the release of, hormones like adrenaline, and that leads to all sorts of, physiological changes within us, like our heart rate spikes and our breathing quickens, and our senses become very heightened in preparation for this perceived danger that is in front of us. And on the emotional front, it can manifest as all these very complex mix of feelings. So, things like anxiety and apprehension and, that impending sense of, doom or danger, that heavy feeling. So, it's important to know that scientific studies, they've proven that chronic fear can have a very lasting effect on, mental health and your mental well-being. So while, fear is a very natural aspect of the human experience, by acknowledging it and understanding it, we can empower ourselves to create strategies that work for us in managing and ultimately overcoming that type of fear. So, like I said, there's two types. There's the healthy and unhealthy. So you want to differentiate between fear and between excitement. And there's kind of a fine line that separates that paralyzing fear from just very healthy nervousness. And that nervousness, that can fuel growth. So healthy nervousness and paralyzing fear, it may seem similar, but their impact on their mindset and our actions, that's what makes them differ significantly. And while healthy nervousness, it's a very natural response for us for any kind of new challenges or new opportunities. It kind of comes with that tinge of excitement, but it's a motivator, and that pushes us to prepare and to perform at our best levels. So it's very natural. But on the other hand, that paralyzing fear, it immobilizes us, it hinders decision making, and it in our actions, it really stems from excessive worrying and worrying about the future, worrying about negative potential outcomes. So, while it's really good to plan, it's a lot different planning and worrying. And recognizing this type of fear, it's very crucial for personal growth and for your resilience. So, I always like to, think of a time when and reflect. I like to think, when did I have healthy nervousness that helped me, that helped motivate me? And, how was that a positive thing versus the times when maybe, I had or you had that paralyzing fear, and how did that block me and hinder me in making a good decision or making any decision at all or acting in any way at all? So just remember that embracing nervousness propels us forward, healthy nervousness. And it also helps, overcome that paralyzing fear. That because the paralyzing fear, it really requires intentional strategies to break free from it and just regain control of ourselves. So now I want to share my personal journey with you in overcoming fear by some techniques that I learned of challenging negative thoughts and thought patterns and transforming them into positive affirmations. So it's a process. It has positively affected my mindset, and I feel it can do the same for you. So the techniques for challenging negative thoughts. The first one involves, just awareness and mindfulness. So when negative thoughts surface, you want to recognize them and consciously interrupt that pattern by asking yourself, are these thoughts, do they ring true? And just really challenging their validity. And, so it's important, not to believe everything that you think and, not to just listen to yourself all the time. So once you've identified, that is happening, then it's time to reframe it and replace the negative thoughts with positive affirmations. And a good example of this is, if the thought is, oh, I can't handle this, I just can't take it, then transform that into, I am capable. I am a resilient person and I can navigate challenges, and you tell yourself that. And, after that, another technique, once you're telling yourself that is, have those affirmations ready to go. It's that you can insert those to convert those negative thoughts. And my affirmations, they're very personal to me. But, I did initially just Google a list of good positive affirmations, and I picked about 10 of them. And over the years, I've tailored them to, whatever I'm going through at the very moment, like whatever thoughts that need to be, have that rebuttal. So you tailor them to address the specific negative patterns that are reoccurring and practice them. Just practice them all the time. And that's going to rewire your brain and reinforce those positive beliefs in yourself. So, my initial one thing I really struggled with, and it stemmed on that lack of experience, was when I told myself initially, I was like, I'm not qualified. I'm not qualified to do this. So the way that I countered that was, okay, but I like to learn, and I'm continuously learning, and I'm continuously growing and improving my abilities. So, just knowing that, I'm a capable person, I'm capable of learning new things, that simple mindset shift, it made a huge difference for me, and it gave me confidence to keep going. So another really powerful technique that helps build confidence over your fears is focus on your strengths and your past successes, and what skills are you bringing to the table that makes you uniquely qualified to take this journey. So, our strengths are like our anchors. That's our foundation. They ground us. And by consciously recognizing and leveraging these strengths, we can approach the challenges of, home care business with a very positive and a very confident mindset. So think about your past successes, those moments of triumph. Those serve as powerful, reminders of your ability to overcome obstacles and achieve your goals. So let these successes just fuel your confidence as you're stepping into this industry and stepping into this new venture. So, let's talk about your skills, whether it's caregiving or management, or maybe even just communication. These skills can really set you apart, and these things that you're bringing to the table make you invaluable. So, by honing in on these skills that are relevant to the home care industry, you're not only going to boost your confidence, but you're establishing yourself as a very competent and capable entrepreneur. So, for me and my professional background, I don't have a nursing background. I didn't have anything, business ownership background, but, I had the natural ability to empathize with people and communicate effectively. So that became my cornerstone for how I leveraged that and became successful initially. So think about, what strengths do you possess that could be your secret weapon in the industry. And just know that confidence, nobody's born with it, right? It's a trait. It's a developed mindset that we cultivate by emphasizing, and telling ourselves and celebrating our strengths and our past successes, and telling ourselves good things about ourselves, and really taking time to gain knowledge and sharpen our skills. So that's the way that, we can build a foundation for success in the home care business. So I hope all this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. I hope you found some inspiration and some value in these insights and strategies to overcome the fear of starting a home care business. And remember, your journey starts with the first step. And just by listening here and taking time, you're taking a step forward, and it's a continuous evolution. So, as we conclude today, just want to leave you with a powerful reminder that the possibilities are immense in this industry. So whether you dream of having a local business, that's awesome. Or maybe you want something that spans multi-states. The key is just to keep evolving, growing, and adapting, and break down that process into easy, manageable, and achievable steps, and then celebrate those little wins, whether it's every week or every day or even every hour. Sometimes you just got to say, I did it. I made it through. So, thank you again for being part of the community. Please stay connected, share your experience, ask questions, and let's support one another. We're here to empower and uplift each other. So, speaking from a mom with no experience to the CEO of a home care company, I can attest the journey is totally worth it. So believe in yourself, believe in your capabilities, embrace the challenge, and let your passions guide you. So, all right, everyone, until next time, keep pushing forward, and just remember the best is yet to come. So see you in the next chapter of your home success story. Goodbye.